And hello again, everybody. We are back at our favorite AMC theater because we're about to see a long-awaited sequel.
Sheila returning to Forever Fangirls reviews?
No. Although, it's good to be back. No, we are seeing The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yeah.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
So, gird your loins. We're about to go in.
Dun, dun, dun.
Welcome back to the channel where fandom is ageless. I'm Sheila, she's Kimberly, and we are Forever Fangirls.
You are Sheila, and you are back.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to say that every time you're on camera.
Anyway, we just came out of watching The Devil Wears Prada 2. Mm-hmm. And so this is going to be our spoiler-free review.
Yes.
At least as much as possible.
It's going to be a little difficult.
Anyway, so let's talk about the positives, yeah?
Yes. First off, I'm just going to say the music. Music in the trailer was amazing. I love the music throughout. It's all the songs that I like, including, I think it's a new song from Lady Gaga. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it's just...
Shape of a Woman. I love that song.
It's just good music. I enjoyed it. It tied a lot of the stuff together, so I just wanted to get that right out of the gate and done.
Yes. And you also mentioned that they modernized it for today, 2026.
Yeah, so there's mentions of AI, mentions of like papers and magazines not being purchased as much, things like that, which I think is very timely.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's that big theme of change, not just with everything that's going on, but also with the characters. Mm-hmm. So I think that was like a really good, tie-in.
It's a good evolution.
Yes, of everything that was going on. So another positive is that the cast chemistry. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's as if no time has passed from the first movie to this one. So you get right back into those characters, and there's a bunch of nostalgia moments in the beginning that kind of remind you of
where they were,
where they're going, and kind of brings you back into that environment that is The Devil Wears Prada.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that was interesting.
I have to say, just seeing Anne Hathaway in those outfits, it's like, oh my God, so cool. And I'm usually like...
The pinstripe suit, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
The pinstripe. There's a pinstripe suit she wears that Sheila and I immediately turned to each other and just went, we want that outfit. But, there's a lot of great little moments. There's 10 million cameos. And to be honest, until the credits rolled, I didn't even know.
Yeah. I'm like, wow. This is a star-studded, production. And through, not just, the top-billed actors. It's
But it was
incredible.
It was amusing to me because I would see something, I'm like, oh, wait, was that what? Oh, they're gone. Oh, wait, was that? Wait, okay, they're gone. And then you see the end credits and you're like, oh, they were there.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's interesting. See how many you can catch.
And also, it's technically not a spoiler because it's already all out there, but Lady Gaga was in this movie and she did a number and I was like, oh my God, bopping to her music.
That's one concert that we really tried to get tickets to and just couldn't.
Yeah, one day.
One day.
So
do you have any more positives?
I'm checking my notes. I think that's it.
Okay, can we jump right into the negatives then?
Sure. Go ahead.
It doesn't have the punch of the first one. Through the whole film, I'm watching and I'm like, okay, where is that big emotional, payoff?
Yeah.
And I just... You keep waiting for it, and it almost seems to glide over it to the end. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just different.
It's different.
And coming after the first one, it was just a little...
Now, do you think that's because we saw the first one, we rewatched the first one before seeing this? Do you think that's it?
I don't think so. I think the first one was so iconic, and so it was brand new, and it came on the scene, and you're looking, and you're like, wow, this film is amazing. And then you get to this one and it's 20 years later, and I'm not saying the time had much to do with it, but it had built up this massive following that when you then go to see this one, it had big shoes to fill. And it's really difficult to do that when you have a story that just felt very thin.
And that's what I was going to say is that it was dragging for me until the last 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was asking you, did it feel thin to you? Because I actually figured out, and again, if you've seen our reviews before, I'm not spoiling it, but I'm saying that if I can figure out what's going to happen...
Hell has frozen over.
No, that means that it is thin. Because it hasn't, totally got me all lost in the story, where I didn't see that thread.
It was a little predictable, but I think it was that fact that we had come from the first one, and you had this interconnectivity from the characters, and then there was a bigger story behind it that had a bigger emotional buildup and a connectivity to the characters. And this one, you're going in knowing them, but the growth of them is almost supposed to be accepted, whereas you don't live it with them. You don't see them go through it and see the change, I guess, in the same way.
Yeah.
I don't quite know how to explain it. It just felt like that emotional payoff of the first one wasn't here. And while I don't expect it to mimic or mirror the first one, it would have been nice to have something new for this film pay off with these characters showing the next stage of quote-unquote evolution in their lives. Does that make sense?
Of course. But, the first is always intense because it's the first.
Well, you never forget your first.
Exactly. That's my point. So anyway, do you have any more negatives?
No, I think that really covers it.
Okay. Because I wanted to go back a little bit to, we touched upon themes, but I wanted to just bring up one additional point, is that in this movie, they really homed in on the fact that there is a cost to everything.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever decision you make, you basically are accepting that you're not going to do this other thing once you decide to do this one thing. So, it's basically, don't judge someone by how they are, because you don't know what they've been through to be at that point.
I also don't want people to look at that and go, oh, see, women should not hold those jobs. Women should not do anything else.
No, that's exactly...
That's absolutely, unequivocally unacceptable. Women can do anything.
Yes.
The whole point here is that men have been able to do what these women in this movie are doing. They have the jobs, they have the kids, they're missing out too. But when women step into those roles, women have a tendency to be looked upon negatively for doing that. So I want to make it clear here. They know what they're missing out on, but they also understand that they love to work. It is part of who they are.
Yeah.
They are...
That is the decision that they've made.
That's the decision they've made, but they are not making the decision to harm others. They're making the decision that is best for them, given the information at that moment.
Yeah.
To do what they need to do to further things. So I think it needs to be clear that this isn't saying women shouldn't. This is saying women can.
Yep.
And we need to accept that women can, and we need to support women that can and do.
Yes. So well said.
Right.
I love it.
I was very proud of myself.
Okay. So, are we ready for our rating?
Oh, no. I didn't tell you what I was going to rate it.
Of course not.
I know,
This
but I'm not used to this. You haven't been here in a while.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Are
I
we
hope
ready?
my timing is accurate. Yes.
All right. Ready on 3.
Okay.
1.
On 3, like we say 3 and then say, okay.
I am back.
Back again. Sheila's back. Tell a friend.
God. All right. Are we ready? On 3.
I think so.
1, 2, 3.
Stream it. But just because she's been away does not mean that our brains are not in tune.
Anyway, it was at least a good watch, right? Do see it. I don't know if I would go into the theater for it.
Yeah.
But it was a good date night, at least, for us to...
It's a fun movie. If you want to go see it in theaters, go see it in theaters. No harm, no foul. I think it's fun. I think it's enjoyable for what it is. And overall, like you said, it was just a nice date night. Is there anything you want to add to that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
So that is going to do it for us. Do you plan on seeing Devil Wears Prada 2? Let us know in the comments below. And please don't forget to subscribe so you do not miss any future episodes where Sheila returns, because they're big events.
Oh my goodness.
It is a big event.
Anyway, until next time, stay safe, be kind, and remember, until you've walked a mile in someone's shoes, don't judge them. Especially if they're wearing Louboutins.
Oh, no. I would not walk that. No, I'd break an ankle.
As would I.
Ooh, ouch.